That made us, we only shower like 3 times a year. Nope. You're wrong. The best of... Hello everyone, it's your North Korean American sister. Came back with another story that you guys longing to hear. Today I want to talk about my first real moment of freedom that I felt after escaping North Korea to China. So, longing for the free world, I finally escaped North Korea and arrived to China, right? It was early down when I crossed the China border, and then, there was ice water, it was so freezing. And after we arrived to Chinese land, snow started falling. It was already freezing, our body became ice now. And then plus with the snow, it was so freezing. I could feel my clothes got so stiffened because of the ice. We hide somewhere and then we are changing our dry clothes, right? I tried to take the wet clothes off, but it was so stiffened like ice. It was hard to take it off. So I was struggling to take it off, quickly change the dry clothes. I saw other people did the same thing. And we had to rush to get away from there. And then we gather all the wet clothes, put back in the backpack because we don't want left any clue in there, right? Otherwise somebody will find us. We quickly headed to the mountainside right across from us. But strangely enough, the snow quickly covering our footprints. So making it difficult for Chinese police or anybody else to find us, tracking us. Oh, and then the broker says, wow, it actually covering our footprints, so nobody will know. So I was complaining about the snow, like, oh no, the world don't want us to leave, like, oh, the world really want us to die, freeze to death or something, right? So I'm like, why is it snow? But now I heard the broker saying that, I'm like, oh, actually it's helping us. So actually my complaint was fading away and I felt a little gratefulness. Did you know when we crossed the Laos and Mekong River to Thailand, it suddenly rain pouring down to us and then blocking bad guys' eyes, so we safely crossed the river, right? I crossed this river, snow started falling and immediately covering our tracks. Was it coincidence? Back then, I didn't know anything and then I was just complaining about it. But now I'm thinking I got chills whenever I'm thinking about it. It sounds like someone protecting us. It was kind of miracle that beyond human power and beyond our limits. So I slightly felt gratefulness by the snow and then we safely arrived at a safe house that the North Korean broker knows. It was a small rural village. The person opened the door for us was a Korean Chinese. And then seeing our condition, he was like oh, come on in, oh, like this. He clicked his tongue so much and then he quickly hit the house and then making us a meal. We got a little relieved by the warmness. Our bodies started to get warmed. And then after he finished cooking the meals and then he gave us lots of foods. White rice, meat broth, and some various dishes, and some fruits. And it was a large grapes on the table. And I was so shocked by that. It was winter time. They have fruits here. They have grapes here. We can't see fruit during the winter time. We can only start to see fruit early summer to late fall. That's the only season we can see and taste. I once witnessed our neighbor who was very old and then he was sick. It got to his last moment of the life, right? And after a week of not eating anything from the sickness, the family members asked him, what do you want to eat now? It could be his last meal, right? So they're trying to serve something before he's leaving the world. So he told them that an apple. But there's no way anybody could get apple in wintertime. So he passed away without tasting a single bite of an apple. It was so terrible. What about pregnant women? When you're pregnant in wintertime, you're longing for the food, especially for fruits, right? There's no way you could get the fruit in wintertime. So we all know that, so we don't even say it. I want fruit in wintertime. Yeah, but China was different. There was fruit like there. There's snowing wintertime. So I'm like, oh, this is good. Like, wow. So that was my very shocking moments, seeing the fruit in wintertime in China. The next thing I was surprised was seeing electricity 24/7. Even in that small rural village, there was constant power, day and night. And when I asked about the Chinese broker, is there any blackouts? And he was he was laughed at it, and then he was, oh my goodness. And then he's like, oh, this is not North Korea. We have power. We don't get blackout. And with that power, it also felt so good watching TV so freely. There were so many channels, and then we can watch like all over the world. And among them, there is a South Korean dramas that we watch that we can freely volume up and just we can hear so clearly, like we're like, oh, you just watching it so freely and nobody trying to catch us. That I didn't have to hire or trembling in fear like this. But I was still so nervous because I got so used to it. As I was watching, I was still like, I had looking around, like checking out surroundings, and then I realized, oh, I'm here like in China. Okay, I don't have to worry like this. So I got so used to like fearing it. But watching those all channels, like 100 channels freely, it was so amazing. Like, wow, this is a free world. And then he was telling us to take a shower, right? And guess what? I turned the shower tap, there's a hot water just coming out just right away. In North Korea, we don't have hot water. We had to boil it over firewood. But even that, because it takes a lot of firewood, we have to have huge pots, right? So it's not that easy. So we often wash it with the cold water. That made us, we only shower like 3 times a year. Seriously, I used to wash only 3 times a year. Well, I had seen other families, they never wash. I mean, you can wash your face and other parts, but taking a shower only 3 times a year. Once in New Year, you definitely wash it before New Year Eve to wash it out, all the dirtiness. Second time, it'll be early summer. Final one is gonna be early autumn. Yeah, that's what I used to wash, shower with the hot water. But this place, you just turn one tap and there's hot water pouring down. So it was so awesome and it was all moment for me. Now, you might think the best part of freedom was eating well, having electricity 24/7, or using hot water, or eating fruits in winter. But nope, you're wrong. The best of the best part was that I didn't have to do weekly self-criticism session anymore. In North Korea, when you turn 8 or 9, you must join Children's Union. After that, until death, you must participate in weekly self-criticism sessions in every week. It's like every Thursday. On that day, you have to confess how you fail to live by the Supreme Leader's teaching. So for example, every morning we have to clean and wipe down the dear leader's portrait on the wall. But you only 8 years old or 10 years old or 9 years old, you forget sometimes and you write down for that. Or you didn't study very good, like you got a test on like 80, or you came to school a little bit like 5 minutes late, you have to write down everything. And then on Thursday, on that session time, everybody gathered together in class, and then one by one, you have to say about it in front of everybody. When it is my turn, I stand up and then saying like, dear Kim Jong-il told us that you have to keep clean and follow good with our father Kim Il-sung. But according to this teaching, this week I didn't follow that teaching because I forgot about brushing or wiping down their great portrait, and I felt so sorry about that. And to correct this, I'm gonna do this, and tomorrow I will wake up early. I have to do the resolution too. And the worst part was that I most criticize my friends, other friends. And then after I finish, I'm so sorry, please forgive me what I did, so I will do it better next time. And then when I finish mine, I have to call somebody, which is my friends, up. And I'll like, Sophia, you stand up. And then they're standing up like this. I watching you this week that you were late for school like 5 minutes. Dear leader says, don't be late on schools. And you have to study hard to make our country better. But according to this teaching, you were late. I see you were late. How could you do that? Huh? You say something about it. What's wrong with you? You were late on school. You were slacking it. Like, and then the principal goes, I'm sorry. And then I gotta keep going. How can you make it better to do? You gotta tell us. It's like, oh, I'll do my best to correct it. You sure about that? Everybody heard about that, right? Okay, you better correct it next week. Okay, sit down. Like that. So those are my friends. We see each other every day. So sometimes I feel so bad to criticizing them, right? It's okay to criticize me for anything, but criticize others is so hard. We don't want to do that. But the teacher was watching us like that. You have to do it like that. And if we don't do seriously, the teacher was like, hey, I'm seeing you, it's not serious. Do it again. That we have to do it again. And do it again over and over until I get so angry and serious and then the other one cries. Every week, right? So sometimes we don't have anything was wrong during the week. I can make up stuff to, saying myself, but for others, I don't know what he did during the weekdays. So occasionally I'm like, oh, this week I don't have anybody to criticize. And then teacher says, no, you have to pick someone to criticize. Otherwise we cannot go home. So sometimes we have to sit hours and hours. And I remember I went back home at 9 o'clock. It's so painful to criticize our friends. And it ruined our friendship, causes a distance. Eventually, we make deals with each other. Sometimes we are secretly, right? Hey, I'm gonna do you this week. You can do me next week. And we do that. And then, but even though we know we made a deal and then that friend criticizing me, it's not real, the word still hurts us. And then we hate each other. So we grew up constantly blaming ourselves and each other. It makes us like becoming children who lack confidence. And it ruins our self-esteem. I was so struggling because of my self-esteem was so low. I thought everything was my fault. Even at work here, something happened at the work time. I'm sorry. It's not even my fault. I felt so bad. It made me so sad and discouraged. It took a long time to get over with. But living in China, after 1 or 2 weeks, I felt something wrong, right? I felt like I forgot something. And then I realized that, oh, I didn't get to do the session. Life goes on. I thought without it, life can't go on. I was so astonished. And I felt the peace in my mind. And then I was like, wow, this is real, true freedom. Eating, dressing well was great, right? But this one was the best freedom of all that I felt. And for the journey and life in China, I don't want to talk about it yet. Because my teenage kids, they're also watching my YouTube videos and they were so proud of me, right? And then they were so thankful that I gained a lot of supporters and followers here. But the life I had in China, I think it quite traumatizing them. Well, nothing bad happened, otherwise I wouldn't here today. As you guys know, an angel always behind my back and protects me. But still, the life in China, it was quite a journey. I'm sure they love me so much and care about me so much. And hearing my journey in China, I'm sure it will break their hearts. So thank you so much for watching my video, and I will come back with more stories. Thank you.